Okay, today we cover on CGU. What is CGU, class? CGU is cash generating unit. So the definition of CGU means that, class, we mentioned about this definition. Actually, it's more on about you have to do a CGU testing as well. You have to prove that this situation is CGU or not. Okay, give me an example of CGU. You only can know the example once you know what is CGU all about. CGU is smallest identifiable group of assets that generate cash inflow which are independent of cash flow from other assets. So what I want to say here, class, smaller identifiable group of assets. That means when you want to calculate the impairment loss, especially on impairment loss, you cannot find for every individual asset in that particular group, because this is considered as one. I give an example to you. What is the example that when you want to impact that particular group, that particular smallest group of assets, you will impact the whole group, the smallest group. You will not impact like individual assets. Good, class. You got the idea already. Subsidiaries. Subsidiaries is also a CGU. So when you want to say an impairment, you will impact at the goodwill. Okay? So you will not impact based on the individual asset in your subsidiaries when you do your group account, group statement. So subsidiaries is also a CGU. I still remember in past year question, September 2018. Okay, sorry, 2018. Question 2. Alright, for SBR paper, he talked about the factory. They found an indicator based on my part 1. Indicator is very important. Is that there is an indicator of impairment happen. Alright, because the performance and so on, the factory start to be subsidence. Subsidence means declining performance and so on. So when you say factory, alright, start to be subsidence, in a factory, you have to do a testing first. Either this factory is a CGU or not. Means that either you want to find the, maybe the factory itself is as a whole here now. Inside the factory, you got machine, you got a lot of machine, you got a lot of other assets as well, but they treat as one only. That means you need to find individual assets, but it's more focused on factory. So you can talk about CGU as well, because the question mentioned just factory. So is it possible that factory itself is a CGU or not? So also you can test it as well. So based on the definition. So how you want to know the CGU is the CGU testing, is it a CGU or not? You must make the definition of your CGU. Is it a small identifiable group of assets that can generate cash inflow? Alright. So what we can say here, that means in one group of assets inside there got a lot of individual assets. Which when you want to find your carrying amount, when you want to find your recoverable amount, you will find a recoverable as a whole as a CGU. Alright, but not all assets as a CGU. You must test first. Okay, so in the case for this step that you need to know, first the indicator, as I mentioned just now. Is there any indicator in my part 1 video? the internal and external, good. So need to find your carrying amount, very good. But this carrying amount is a carrying amount of CGU. Now you cannot find a carrying amount of one by one asset, because now you are trying to treat CGU. If that is a CGU, that means you have to do a CGU treatment. You have to follow the rules of CGU. So third, you need to find RA. Good. You see, now you can try already. You have to find your RA of your CGU as well. Recoverable amount as a whole. The principle is the same, class. You still have to find your fair value, less cost to sell, and good, value in use. The principle is the same. Higher off. Yes. You will find number 4. Find your impairment loss. Good. RA will be lower than your CA. How much is it? Class, once you find your RA, now comes the additional step. Now you have to apply the rules of CGU. What I mean rules of CGU, once you get your total IL for the whole CGU, now you can allocate the IL, the impairment loss, to specific asset in CGU. What is the 2 rules of CGU here that you need to know? First allocation, this is the word that you have to use. First allocation will be at the goodwill. Remember these 2 rules, class. Once you get your IL, the first allocation, you have to impact your goodwill first. Regardless the goodwill got a big amount, you have to impact the whole goodwill first. Once the remaining balance will be allocated to other asset, based on prorate basis. I repeat, this is the rules of CGU that you have to follow. First allocation will be goodwill. The remaining balance of the balance will be allocated to other asset based on prorate basis. All these words you have to follow, class. Alright? But your IL, your presentation still has to be expense off. Okay, in your P&L. The same rules as well. I'm using rate, that means the same principle as my first video. Presentation, good. IL will be expense off. I want to give an example of CGU now, class. This your basic to apply this step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one. So I will give an example from this question. So class, you see, because this I have tested just now, my first step, I have to test is it a CGU or not. Okay, so I think this is the part that maybe you must talk about CGU. Talk about CGU testing. Anyway, before you start to calculate, must put in your essay about CGU testing. Relate with the definition. Once you have proved it is a CGU or not, is it a CGU or not, automatically then you have to calculate your CA and your RA. Class, now if you can see here now, this is the structure of the group of assets. You see, I give an example, subsidiaries. Alright, subsidiaries is a CGU. So I get my PPE, I get my investment property, intangible, current asset, alright, and my goodwill. So this is a group of assets. Means that if you feel that this CGU means, I give an example. You want to extract out you want to extract out of the PPE. If you extract out of the PPE, it means this group cannot generate cash inflow. Means that when they combine all this as a smaller identifiable group, then they can generate cash inflow. So that shows that this is a CGU. Alright, like factory and so on. So now, at the end, if you do not know specifically is CGU or not, the important thing here, at least you can discuss, like factory. So you say, factory, is it a CGU or not? Then you talk about CGU. Is that possible? Is it possible? Factory CGU, factory, a lot of asset inside there. So maybe you can argue, you can discuss. At least you have a discussion on the CGU. So now, first step is what? Good. Calculate the carrying amount. Once I get the carrying amount, I total up all the carrying amount. I got 13,000. So the carrying amount must be include the carrying amount of the whole subsidiary, the carrying amount of the whole CGU. Good. The whole CGU included the current asset as well. Okay. Included, I remind you, the carrying amount must be included the current asset because it's part of the CGU as well. Without the current asset, the company unable to generate the cash inflow. So current asset must be included. So that is considered CGU because in one group, then you can generate a cash inflow. So now, first thing, you know your impairment loss. You see, they give you an RA. Okay, this is a basic question because RA provided. If not, you have to find your RA using the principle how to find the RA just now. Higher of a value and value in use. I give just in an example for this video, I give 8,000 the RA. Alright, I find for you already. So, this RA is also RA for the whole CGU. For the whole CGU. So now, once I said that class, how much is my impairment now? Good. Your impairment will be 5,000. So what you will do on your 5,000? Because this 5,000 is a total. Remember my next step? Good. Rules of CGU. Once you get your 5,000 here, remember IL, you must allocate it. So what I mean allocate, this is the application part. So now, what is your first rules of CGU? Allocate to the goodwill first. You see, this is a goodwill. You got 1,000, so you allocate all 1,000. If you got 6,000 here, I just give an example. If 6,000 here, you can allocate 5,000 here class. That means you have to allocate all. That means other asset you maintain. Alright, but however, in this case, you just give you are using the initial example, only 1,000, so you only impact 1,000. So goodwill will be your recoverable amount of CGU, your net carrying amount. I can say that net carrying amount is nil. So balance how much class? Good. Balance will be 4,000. So the 4,000, as I mentioned to you, what is it? Allocate impairment loss, remaining balance, remaining impairment loss we allocate to other assets based on prorate basis. Class, students confused when they calculate carrying amount, they thought don't need to calculate current asset. Current asset must be part of the carrying amount. However, just to inform you all, current asset never have impairment, so will be nil automatically. I mean no allocation to the current asset for impairment loss. Okay, so under this is 1,000, so your net also will be 1,000. So although we didn't allocate this impairment loss to current asset, you still have to find your carrying amount of CGU using the current asset as well. That means part of your carrying amount must include the current asset, although you didn't impair it. So what is my balance now? Good, 4,000. So now I can allocate to other asset. So how I allocate at the prorate basis means that you got 5,000 here, right? 5,000 divided by how much left that does not been impaired yet? 5,000, 1, 4,000, 2, got another third one is you have to be impaired. So total how much class? 5, 4, 9, 9 to 11. Good, 11,000. Don't plus with the current asset because current asset will not impact. So based on prorate basis means that the amount that you want to impact divide by total amount that you want to impact. So times with the balance how much. Then we got your impairment loss here. Alright. Next 4,000. Impairment loss. Then another one is 2,000. I want you to calculate yourself. So once you get your impairment loss class, so you will get your net amount here. You will realize when you add all these class, you will realize when you add all this, you plus, you will get the same of 8,000 here. The net carrying amount will be 8,000. So the first thing that you have to do, because it is you must talk about the CGU testing. First definition, CGU testing, indicator, then you find the carrying amount of the whole first, recovery amount as a whole first, impairment amount as a whole first. Next, you go to the rules of CGU, you allocate the impairment loss based on the rules, then you will get your specific asset of your impairment loss for each asset in the CGU. So this is a basic understanding of CGU. Class, just to inform you, under this 5,000, they are possible because of CGU, because of this recovered amount is lower than the carrying amount. They also are due to the indicator, like maybe fire, make your PPE performance not good, technology, and so on. So indicator, alright, must also be considered as well. Then all assets must have an impairment. So any question? This is an example how they applied the rules of CGU. If you mention in your essay regarding the rules of CGU, you also will get marks. Any question? Okay, so this is the basic setup for you. Find your CGU testing. If you want to prove CGU first, no problem. Maybe you can start with CGU first. Okay, you talk about the CGU, example, and indicator. Is there any indicator? Then you have to find your carrying amount of CGU, recovery amount of CGU. Then you have to find your impairment loss. Next, you will allocate it. Alright? Sometimes the question will not give you any figure. Although they do not give you any figure, you still have to explain one by one like this in an essay form. Try to do September 2018 question 2. That's all. Thank you.